We're live. So I'd like to welcome everyone watching and live with us today. This is our 6th weekly meeting. And our format that we've been going with is to have the public schedule update portion first, then answer any questions that those might have that are in attendance. And then we close the public portion, then hold the project-specific private portion, just the contractor. So with that, I'll turn it over to Ryan Blake with Meyer to give us our schedule update.
Okay. Right now out there we're laying pipe, laying the sanitary main up to Franklin Street, and the water's already up past Franklin, so we've got those 2 crews that'll continue to lay water, sanitary, and storm, just kind of bounce around and proceeding as it's available to them. We've got our 3rd crew working on the restoration of the road so that we can make a traffic shift. Got a plan to switch over to traffic control C this week, and we also have a plan to start paving the permanent pavement down in Broad Street intersection this week. We've also done some of the lighting system work at the intersection of Broad and Main Street. I think well, last week we pretty much held up our schedule. It was able to hold last week. Unfortunately, this week looks like there's some weather coming, so everything on the schedule will of course be weather dependent, and we'll get out of there as quickly as we can.
All right. So just a couple of things to add. So on Friday we shifted to what we're calling stage 1B. And stage 1B is to allow the work between Fulton and Franklin, which is going on right now. There's a lot of equipment in that 300-foot stretch there, but it's the intent is to get the sewer and the water main from Fulton to Franklin. That went into effect on Friday, and that's where we have the split left turns. So for southbound 61, they left turn at Franklin, and then for northbound 61, they left turn at Fulton. And we got the map up here to show that. This has been distributed. And this would hold then until what we're proposing would be either late in the day, Wednesday morning, or early Thursday, weather dependent, when we would be shifting into 1C. So we've done that work between Fulton and Franklin, and now they just want to continue progressing west towards Old West Main. And 1C then is where all traffic movements at Fulton are available. So it's a lot like 1A where everything was at Franklin. Now 1C is where everything's at Fulton. And we'll submit a revised map when that time comes too as well. But just to give you a little perspective on when we're calling 1A, 1B, 1C, what those are. And then the thought that 1C would hold for a while here now until we maybe have to do another shift to get the permanent pavement in Fulton, that intersection completed. But we're expecting 1C then to stand for a little while.
1C is our last traffic control on the southbound 61 before we flip to 1D, which would be the northbound.
Yep, that's correct. And then, yeah, just to elaborate a little bit more on the Broad Street intersection. So we were talking a little bit before the public portion here, the logistics of getting that intersection back open with permanent pavement. And we're projecting right now that they would start in with the permanent pavement Thursday of this week. And we're feeling out right now it'd be about a week and a half before we'd have Broad Street back open, or East and West Avenue, I should say. That'd be back open to vehicle traffic, as well as at that time we'd hope to restore the crossing there on the east side of the intersection to the Y, between the Chamber and the Y. We'd be able to restore that crossing too, not having to be detouring everybody down to Bush. So
for pedestrian crossing.
For pedestrian crossing, yep, correct. So kind of get that back and make that usable again. So,
and Corey was mentioning the 1C going into effect, what did you say, Thursday?
Yeah, it's projected to be paved. We have to do a little bit more temp paving between Fulton and Franklin. That paving's on the schedule for Wednesday. So that has to obviously be completed before we can shift traffic. So it'd either be real late Wednesday or maybe early Thursday before the traffic control guys would be out and actually making that switch. To move everyone down to Fulton.
And then Fulton would open as a full movement intersection, and the signal at, correct me if I'm wrong, Corey, the signal at Franklin would just go dark.
That's correct. It'd be bagged just like Fulton was when Franklin was the only one.
So then we'd be back to one temporary signal on the mid block, we call it, between Broad and Old West Main. So, and then that would hold for a while as they sewer and water crews work to the toward Old West Main to finish that up. And in the meantime, as Ryan was saying, there'd be paving that's happening at the Broad Street intersection to try to get that back open for traffic, both pedestrian and vehicle traffic.
Do you have anything else, Ron?
Nope. I think you pretty well covered it.
Anything you want to, on the water system, Ryan, you can update on what's happening with the testing and where you are with different phases of it with the pipe in?
They're actually flushing today and tomorrow and getting the bacteria down. And then hopefully on Friday, we can start hooking up services.
For the first block,
For the first block, actually 2 blocks.
or first 2 blocks from Broad to Fulton.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, which is a good update. So once the water main's installed, we do a pressure test, and then we also take bacteria samples. And once those are all tested and the bacteria are verified to be negative, then we'll slowly start to transition people off of the temp water back onto their permanent water. And so that'll be progressing as needed and as available, as the project continues to progress here. So that'll be likely, shifting east to west as well. We'd start, as indicated, the first 2 blocks. So Fulton to West and East Avenue, those guys would start to get taken off of temp water and be back on their new water service now and on the new main out in 61. And so that'll just kind of continue to follow the construction as well. Typically, the removal of the temp water and the paving are kind of at the same time. So
That's just on the south side.
just on the south side, yeah, that's a very good point. Yeah, of course, just on the properties that are affected right now under construction. So those north side properties, those would hold then until we're able to, connect the services on the north side. And but a good sign that things are moving along. So I think with that, I think that's most of our updates. So anyone in attendance have any questions or concerns that they'd like to make aware? Yes, go ahead, ma'am.
This is the first meeting I've been able to attend, so you may have addressed this, but out-of-town people are saying, you said you were doing West Main to Broad, and yet there are cones all the way out almost to 19 with single lanes. Why is that?
So the project that we're meeting here on today is 61 and Main Street, the reconstruction of that. And that is for this summer from West and East Avenue to Old West Main. And then next summer it's from Old West Main or Broad Street, then down to the east end of town, east of Potter. That is the 61 project that we're meeting here on about today. But there is also a separate MnDOT project. It's a mill and overlay project that is just, I guess, under construction now or in progress. And that is, we actually have some MnDOT representation, and Jeff, he's the engineer on that project as well. And if I recall correctly, it is from 19 and to essentially Old West Main. So that, I guess it, yep. And then they're also even doing a portion south of our project too. So our project's in the middle, so to speak, of this separate mill and overlay project. So do admit there's a lot of orange out there right now, but it's 2 separate projects. And
Yeah, there is that project going on, and you see the bulk of their work right now. Jeff is kind of out in that upper Burnside area where you're doing the median work, and they're pouring concrete curb and medians, but the barrels have been set up all the way basically through most of the project. I anticipate there is some work starting in those areas as well.
The ped ramp work, and there's some individual existing storm manholes that need to be replaced, so they got those lane closures up probably in advance of when they could have been, but
Yeah.
Coordination with the subcontractors and so forth.
Okay. So that is another project that's going on, and that's going to be most of construction season as well, correct? And then once they're done with this section of it, from 19 to Old West Main, MnDOT then also has work going on the south, heading out past the training school and Sevastopol and Wakuta Road improvements, turn lane improvements and so forth with their overlay as it goes south of Red Wing as well. So a lot of work along this corridor, that's for sure.
Anybody else, any concerns or questions, or?
Any access concerns, or we've been trying to basically work with the businesses. We've been addressing things as we've gone along here. We've added stop signs. You probably noticed we've got a new four-way stop at Fulton right now because of the signals at Fulton. We added that in place. Added some business signage where we needed some, where we've moved some signs in the last week here. Trying to address pedestrian and vehicle access to the businesses. It's definitely inconvenient, but we're doing our best to keep people getting in and out where we can, using the alleys, open the alleys up to two-way traffic all the way through this corridor here. Yes?
I
Carol.
want to say, good job with the signs, and as you added that signal light on Main and Fulton, you also added a four-way stop at Fulton and Third, and it really helps the traffic.
Yeah, I noticed the same thing. I think that four-way stop was definitely needed with that being the draw for the vehicles to get down to get on Main Street. So that's those streets are getting a lot more use. We're kind of monitoring that. Of course, alternate routes are being used by our locals, and that's shown with some higher traffic counts that I've done on 4th Street, and we're looking at some other areas as well.
All right, thanks, yeah, thanks, Jay.
Any other questions, concerns, things that we could take a look at to address along here? Okay.
Thank you, thank you.